Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA content, whole bunch of content. All these videos they get posted to this Reddit. I'll just have it linked down below. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. If you need to ask me questions about the slate, or if you just want to shoot the shit, talk about anything, talk about theory, lineups, all that good stuff. I will be there. Helps me get better. Hopefully, it helps you guys get better, right? What we're trying to do with this game is we're just all trying to get better. Nobody's perfect. We're literally all just trying to get better, right? So I will have that link down below, and then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on X right here. I will have that link down below. All right, let's go over my lineups from the past 2 days. As always, I go pretty light on NFL Sundays. So, yeah, I had a really bad day today. As always, I show you guys my lineups so you can gauge if I am a winning player. I think that's very, very important. Um, so we go over my lineups every single night. I will go over my lineup from yesterday that we did not go over since I didn't have a video for Sunday. So pretty straightforward slate, personally. I think the chalk was just really good chalk. That being like Robert Williams, Shaden Sharp, Kate Cunningham, and Jamal Murray. That was mainly my core. Of course, smashed, but I also had Kyrie Irving as like a flag plant in GPPs. Thought it would be under-owned, but feels getting sharper. They played him. So yeah, Kyrie and MPJ sunk me. I honestly did not even like MPJ at his ownership, and I kept landing on. I needed a forward in that mid-range area, and he just kept landing. So I just played him. Just obviously, of course, it didn't work out, right? Michael Porter Jr. the most frustrating roster in NBA DFS, but yeah, pretty straightforward slate. I eat the good chalk, what I felt was good chalk outside of Michael Porter Jr., and then got different with Amin Thompson. That worked out huge. Klingon, I thought was going way overlooked by the field. That he had a good game. Didn't close, unfortunately, which was a bit sad. Another value play I was really high on was Dario Saric. He smashed. I was deciding on him or Klingon, and then running on my roster. Outside of that, but I wasn't fading Robert Williams, right? So yeah, that was my lineup from today. Just really bad day. Didn't cash NFL, didn't cash NBA. This was yesterday. My core yesterday was Zach Collins, Trey Lyles, Luka Doncic, and Kevin Herter and De'Aaron Fox. Zach Collins was my flag plant in GPP. So yeah, cash yesterday. Luka sunk me. Could have been a better night if Luka had a better game. I went to Jordan McLaughlin over Chalk Alex Len. That worked out. That was nice. But yeah, low on Sam Hauser was pretty good. And then Brandon Ingram, only 28% owned. That worked out massively as well. You guys know I was really, really high on Brandon Ingram. So hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Because I did not. Well, I had a good Friday and Saturday, but Sunday we had that 1K win, I believe, a couple days ago. 3K win like a week or two ago. I think I won like close to 5K that night. But yeah, having my best NBA season yet. It's been fun, but hoping to bounce back from this disgusting Sunday. So yeah, we got a 6 game slate here. As always, we'll go over it. If you're looking for more in-depth content, we'll have my Discord link down below. But without further ado, let's just get into this 6 game slate for tomorrow, the 18th of November. All right, Chicago at Detroit. Fine spot here going up against Detroit. I mean, when this team is just fully healthy, you guys know my stances here. It's just the same breakdown every time, unless it's just like a different matchup or a really tough matchup. Like when they're all this close in price point, I'm always just going to prefer Zach LaVine to like Kobe White, Josh Giddey. I would assume with point per dollar and straight up, of course. Vucevic at 7-8, I don't mind his ceiling. I think looking at center plays in a similar range, I think Cat is just a phenomenal play tomorrow. But like you're paying $300 more for Sengun. What do you have below him? You have not much below him. Center's pretty weak tomorrow. You have Goga down there. So I would say like Vooch, Pirtle, Sengun, Cat, possibly a Bam Adebayo if Embiid's out. Probably better center plays in this league. I like Durn quite a bit as well. So yeah, kind of just indifferent there on Vooch. I think he's a good play, just massive ceiling, probably going to get you close to a double-double, and he's really hitting the shots from like deep is when he has his massive ceiling as well. So I don't mind me some Vooch. I think LaVine's just my favorite play on Chicago though, point per dollar. He's the highest ceiling, he's the highest usage rate on the team. At least that was a week ago. I would assume that's still the case today. She'll play big minutes. The good thing with Chicago is they're running their guards into the ground, and they're kind of running hot hand situation with like Josh Giddey, I would assume. So like I don't really have any interest in Giddey at 6K unless they roll anyone out. And then I prefer Zach LaVine to Kobe. But Kobe, of course, in play as well. Both the guards here just have massive ceilings, so I'm always going to consider them in GPPs. Patrick Williams at 4.8K. I don't mind him. He's playing big minutes right now. It's just like these games complete outliers from him. So like if he's popular tomorrow, I'm just fine fading him. But if you really need a value below the 5K range, don't mind him. Just the amount of minutes he's playing. But yeah, this production is not going to hold up. So ownership going to tell what I do there, but nothing crazy. Moving on to Detroit. I mean, great spot here. Chicago, they went from one of the toughest matchups to a slow-paced team to the fastest-paced team in the NBA to one of the best matchups in the NBA. So, with that being said, I'm high on this Detroit team. I think Cade Cunningham looks phenomenal. I think he's going to be really popular tomorrow, but I think it's good chalk. He looks phenomenal. His potentials are way up. He's doing everything for this team, playing 40 minutes in competitive games. I love Cade tomorrow. I think Jaden Ivey's a really good play at 6.4K. Cade, the Wombo combo, two-man Wombo combo. Malik Beasley, we know is a high usage player as well, but those three just dominating usage right now. So I'm pretty high on Jaden Ivey. I don't mind Tobias Harris at 6.3K, so it's a great spot here for everyone. Has double upside. She'll play big minutes in competitive games. Super safe play. Price point hasn't moved. I also don't mind Jalen Duren at 6.1. She'll play around 25 to 30 minutes. Going to be super productive when he's on the court. I played his double on sportsbooks today. He had a double in 18 minutes. I was going to be so pissed if he missed that. Keep an eye on Tim Hardaway Jr. If he's out, Malik Beasley should continue to start, should continue to play low 30s minutes. Would be a viable option at 5.1. Just massive ceiling. I wouldn't say it'd be like a must, but still be a decent option at that price point. I'm not going to get to much else here, though. If Tim Hardaway Jr. is in, of course, that takes Malik Beasley out of play for me, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. would be a viable value if no more value opens up. Moving on to the Pacers. So big news here. Massive news. Ben Shepherd. He got hurt tonight, so we're going to have to see if he's going to be playing. So if he is in, with still Nembhard and Nesmith out, I think Halliburton's still a good play at 8.2K, right? With those two guys out, he has a lot more responsibilities, right? He's already going to be stuffing his stat sheet. His potentials do go way up with those two off the court. He's going to have to do more offensively, right, as well. And he has to play big minutes with those two off the court. So I'm always going to like me some Hallie when those two guys are off the court. Siakam, I think, is a little bit too cheap at 7.2K as well. I don't mind Tim. I think he's another solid point per dollar play on the slate. Miles Turner at 6.9, I think, is playable. I think I prefer like a Siakam, but good spot here going up against Toronto, playing massive minutes as well. He has massive ceiling, especially when he's hitting his shots. What else here? Mathurin, I like quite a bit at 6.5K. I want to say he's the highest usage rate on this team right now, and he's also just forced to play close to 40 minutes a game. He's around a fantasy point per minute guy, so you give him a fantasy point per minute, you give him 40 minutes, he's still going to project really well at this price point. So I still like me some Halliburton at that price point. And then, yeah, keep an eye on Shepherd. If Shepherd's in, I'm not going to play Shepherd, but if Shepherd's out, I'm going to really like T.D. McConnell for value at 4.1. I would think they would have to play him more with Ben Shepherd out. We know he's an elite point per minute guy for the price point, stat sheet stuffer. So if Ben Shepherd's out, I like T.D. McConnell quite a bit. We're probably going to have to see like Quentin Jackson in the rotation as well if Ben Shepherd's out. Also keep an eye on the starting lineup. They could do a number of things here. But yeah, really like TJ. Quentin Jackson at 3.3. Probably have to get a ton of burn. Drace Walker might have to play more. So there's definitely going to be some value here, potentially, on the Pacers if we get Ben Shepherd out. I'll make updates on Reddit when we do get that news. Moving on to Toronto. Scotty Barnes, Bendo quickly, Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown, all still out here. RJ Barrett, I think is fine. I would rank him below like Cade Cunningham and Halliburton, but still firmly in play. Of course, he's probably going to be low owned tomorrow because you have those guys in this range. He also triple-double, just absolutely absurd while shooting 37% from the field. But good thing with him is he's going to play big minutes and he has the team to himself. So I'm fine with RJ there. Jakob Poeltl Zubac, just massive steps up this year. Another guy that's going to play all the minutes as long as he can stay out of foul trouble. So good spot here specifically for Jakob Poeltl as well. So like Jakob's ceiling, RJ firmly in play. I have a tough time paying this price point for like Grady Dick, OJ Abaji, Davion Mitchell. So it's mainly just RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl for me up at the top. Moving on to the Sixers. Thank you for starting McCain. Thank you. Last game they went with a starting lineup. I didn't watch the last game. I have it up. I believe I what was it? Joel Embiid, Paul George, Jared McCain, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin. I think I remember what I saw. Paul George, Caleb, Joel Embiid, Jared McCain, Kyle Lowry. Yeah, benching Oubre, not it. To be honest, just move Kyle Lowry to the bench. But yeah, with Joel Embiid in, I keep an eye on the minutes. Like Nick Nurse said, they were going to slowly start upticking his minutes. So if we could like Joel Embiid off his minutes restriction tomorrow at $10,000, I would like him in GPPs. Obviously, it's going to depend on what his ownership is going to be. He's still not conditioned. He's still rusty. So like, he's not the Joel Embiid of last year right now. But if we get news that he is full go, minutes upticking, which they did last game, yeah, I'm going to have interest in Joel Embiid at $10,000. So keep an eye on that. I think that could be intriguing in GPPs. With Joel Embiid in, hard for me to get to Paul George at 8-3, although the ceiling's still massive. If he's owned, not going to love it as much, but still fine. And then I can't pay 6K for Kelly Oubre. I can't pay this price point for McCain. If he might just be the best basketball player ever. I don't think this production is just going to sustain. Now the price point's up at 5.8. He's probably going to project for like what 29 fantasy points. Yeah, I don't know. If he's chalk tomorrow, I'm just not going to play him. I think production just complete outlier, but he's real life good. I'm not going to get to much else here. Now, if we get Joel Embiid out, then yeah, I think we can fire up some of these plays. I like Paul George quite a bit at 8-3. He'd have to play big minutes, dominate the usage here. Then we can start considering, like Jared McCain, I would like quite a bit. What else would we'd have Andre Drummond, Yabusele at 4.6, 5.6. Both would be good point per dollar plays. Caleb Martin would be in play at 5.3. I'm probably not going to get to like Kyle Lowry though, but like yeah, keep an eye on Joel Embiid. Keep an eye on the lineup as well. Moving on to Miami, keep an eye on Jimmy Butler. If he's out, it's the same thing as always. Like Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro will get a usage bump. Both are priced up though. Terry Rozier's just been god awful. He got benched tonight. Haywood Highsmith's playing big minutes. Kevin Love's only getting his 2 shifts, and then they're kind of riding the hot hand with like Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, and some of the Josh Richardson. So like sometimes you get games where Duncan Robinson plays really, really well, and they'll extend him. Then he has that massive ceiling like he had tonight. But definitely some risk with him. I would only consider it if Jimmy Butler's out. If Butler's in, I'm probably just going to stay away from this team. Another team, just disgusting with everyone back. Back-to-back here. I'm not entirely sure if everyone's been playing back-to-backs. Koulibaly also got injured. Malcolm Brogdon, his first game back. Thumb injury, so I'd just expect him to be good to go here. Keep an eye on Koulibaly as well. He got injured tonight, but nothing really changes too much. If he's out, more run for like Keyshawn George at 5K, but he's still priced up when everyone was out. Tough matchup here going up against the Knicks. I'm not loving too much here on Washington. I think we can just slide right through. And then we get to the New York Knicks, which I like a lot here. I think Cat looks like one of the best center plays on the slate. I mean, he is just absolutely nuking. This is the production that we kind of wished for on the Timberwolves. When he's playing the 5, his rates are just so much better. He is just absolutely elite point per minute right now. He's basically just 12.2 rebounds per game, 26 points. Just absurd, putting up absurd stats right now. Now you have a matchup going up against Washington. Yeah, he's going to be chalk tomorrow. I think he's phenomenal play. Love Cat. I think Jalen Brunson's a really good play at 8-9 as well, especially if like Miles McBride continues to be out, because that's going to be a lot. Same situation with like Halliburton, where they're just forced to play Brunson a ton of minutes. So keep an eye on that. But like even Josh Hart, he played 46 minutes tonight. I'm no issue paying him at this price point. Not as great of a play as he has been, but no issue with that. I think Mikal, OG, they're pretty safe in a great matchup here. And then, yeah, if Miles McBride remains out, you could consider a campaign for value at 3.8K. Not going to get to much else here, though. Cat was on the injury report tonight. Maybe he's on the injury report for tomorrow. If he's out, we know what to do. Brunson looks great. Hart looks good. All these secondary guys look really good. You consider, like, Sims, Porty, etc. Moving on to Houston, back-to-back here. Fine spot here going up against Milwaukee. I think the price point on Sengun is just too cheap at 8.1K. He's doing everything for this team. Stats way up. No issue with Sengun. I think he's fine play. I think the guards look good here. Great spot for both the guards here. Fred VanVleet, I think every Rocket smash tonight, even in a blowout, so like Fred, like Jalen. I think Tari and Amen Thompson are solid values. I think I honestly prefer Amen Thompson to Tari. And then, yeah, I told everyone, I want to say he had a bad game tonight, but they're going to ride the hot hand with Jabari Smith. So, like, be careful. If he's popular, I want nothing to do with Jabari Smith. If he's low owned, then I'm more inclined to take shots on him. Dylan Brooks is a solid value as well. He'll play a ton of minutes. Don't mind it, but low usage guy. Moving on to the Bucks, we have everyone back here, so it's mainly just Giannis and Dame for me up at the top. I don't think I'm really considering anyone else. As far as like spend ups go on the slate, I think Giannis is your overall top spend up, but I would rank Cade probably as your best point per dollar spend up, with like Karl-Anthony Towns, and then if you're going all the way up, it's definitely Giannis for me. So of course I like Giannis. I think Dame's fine as well, but that's mainly it here for the Bucks. Last game of the night, guys. So the good thing with Phoenix is they're gonna let their other team star players basically score on you. So like you can see just a massive game here from Franz, and his role right now, another role that's just absolutely elite. Can grab rebounds, stuff the stat sheet, playing huge minutes, and if the Suns are just gonna let him score on them, you can see a massive game here. So no issue with Franz at this price point. I think price point's probably getting a little bit up there, but no issue paying that price point still. Jalen Suggs at 7K, handling the ball a lot more with no Paolo, playable. And then Wendell Jr. is doubtful, so yeah, like me some Goga. I think he's a good point per dollar play. She'll play around 30 minutes, good producer. Like Goga for value. And then yeah, I like Jonathan Isaac for value as well. His minutes have slowly been ticking up of late. Good point per minute guy, 4.2K. So like Isaac quite a bit for value. KCP is playable at 4-1 as well. I don't mind that. And I think that's it. I'm not going to play Anthony Black, although he is having a lot better of a year this year, I want to say. Let's move on to Phoenix. So I believe Kevin Durant and Booker are going to be remaining. Did I say Booker? Bradley Beal are going to be remaining out here from this game. Guess we could have Beal back. But assuming they're both out, I mean, Booker's just going to absolutely dominate the usage. Now, we could see Orlando trap a little bit here up against Booker. I kind of called that up against the Thunder. I said to be careful with Devin Booker. I thought they were going to double him, trap him, just absolutely harass him. That's absolutely what they did. Had his worst game of the season. Actually nuked his unders this game with the team to himself, but not necessarily sure Orlando's really going to do that. So, yeah, Booker, great spend up the team to himself. Yusuf Nurkic is fine. I think, if everyone remains out, or keep it on the starting lineup. They started Mason Plumlee tonight alongside Yusuf Nurkic, but I think that was a matchup specific thing going up against Minnesota. So we could see like a Koji back in the starting lineup. If we get like a Koji back in the starting lineup, like a Koji for value, Royce gets a bump at 5-4, and then Dunn's playable as a value. If we get like Beal back, then I still like Booker, and then I'd like Beal quite a bit. And then I'd probably be off these secondary pieces. Oh, and if Beal remains out still, like Grayson Allen for value. That's going to do it for the slate, guys. Hope you guys have a great night. I think the teams I mainly want to target right now is probably like a Cat, some Detroit. Keep an eye on like Ben Shepherd news, possibly like T.J. McConnell. I like, not Washington. Maybe some Phoenix, potentially. So main teams I want to target: New York, Detroit. So hope you guys had a great week. I will talk to you all tomorrow and on Reddit.